Hello, Will I Like It viewers. This is a very special day. For Thanksgiving, I am thankful to have this guest, an international guest, all the way from across the pond, more popular than me, so perhaps I'm welcoming some of his viewers. Please say hello to SpiderGeeek, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Captain America! Sorry, I'm all rattled up from the new trailer today, so I'm like,
yeah.
It's an epic day. Captain America trailer dropped, so I'm all excited about that. So it's pretty cool.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's right. You're a big Marvel guy.
Yeah, I love Marvel. I feel like I'm sitting in a hole right now. I feel like I should raise my camera up a little bit, and there you go. Get out of the hole that I'm sitting in. Yeah, I'm a big Marvel fan. I always have done, or have been. I've read it since I was a kid. You know, Spider-Man's my thing, but you know, due to the hype around all the movies and everything else, you know, you can't help but just get sucked in by it. It's just it's a good time to be a Marvel fan.
How do you feel about Spider-Man finally going back to Marvel?
I couldn't be happier. I made a video on this quite a few months ago, and yeah, I acted like an idiot because I was just, I mean, to be a Spider-Man fan and never truly get what you want out of a Spider-Man movie, it's just always disappointing, and you just kind of find a middle ground within the movies and try and, you know, enjoy them for what they are and not take them too seriously. But in the back of your mind, you know, you're always sort of really pissed off because you're like, oh, really? You know, why did they go that way? And you just wish that something like that could land back in the hands of the people that created it. So, you know, they can develop characters properly and just give it justice, really.
I see. I'm not incredibly familiar with I mean, I'm familiar, but I'm not like, you know, diehard like I would be about Jason here. So what is it about the movies that aren't exactly, I mean, even the Raimi Spider-Mans, you don't think those are?
I'll be honest, out of all the existing Spider-Man movies, I've taken a little bit of something from everything. I liked individual pieces about each movie, but was never completely satisfied. So I wouldn't go as far as to say I hate any of the movies. I mean, even The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was borderline diabolical, I still didn't hate it because we're still getting Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
A lot of people love to hate things, but you can't hate it too much because you're still watching it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I mean, I have 12 of these guys' movies, and sure, space. All right, fine, whatever.
I was watching the Jason film last night. Actually, I was watching The New Blood, and is it The New Blood Part 7?
Yep.
And I was surprised how much I enjoyed it again. Like, that was one of the ones that I never watched as much as the others. I mean, Part 6, Jason Lives, was always my favourite growing up.
Yes.
I think a lot of people, you know, loved that one, but I liked how this one followed on, and you know, there was all that sort of telekinetic thing going on, which I didn't really mind. But I mean, Kane Hodder as Jason, he sort of brought such a impact to that role, I think. But
yeah. I see. I did a review on the series this past Friday the 13th, and you know, watching it, I forgot that Kane Hodder is really the first guy to introduce the breathing in Jason, but he's dead.
You know, just brooding Jason, I call him, because it's just, I mean, I love how he just develops in size as the series go along. He starts off as a boy, then he's this little weedy dude with a sack over his head. And then, you know, by Freddy versus Jason, he's like an NBA basketball player.
He grows in height too.
No one's ever commented on it, but it's like, damn, that guy's eating his spinach, you know?
It's absolutely right. All right, so I veered off. I wanted to start with your tattoos. Anybody who looks at you right away gets a clear visualization that you enjoy tattoos. What do they mean to you? And you know, is there anything special? Do you appreciate the art? Give me the story behind your tattoos.
I think it's a little bit of everything, really. I mean, I started off at a very young age appreciating tattoos just because of the cool factor. I didn't really have any like insight into the history of them, or you know, that it's this massive art movement. And I'm going way back to when I was like, you know, 10 years old or something. And I always, you know, I always liked them. And to me, it was never an issue to put something on my body. Like I never had this massive like, oh, I need to think about that for years and years. I mean, I'll give you a prime example. The first time I got a tattoo was when I was about 14, 15 years old. And I was a huge 80s film appreciator. I always loved 80s movies. And Corey Haim was one of my favorite 80s childhood actors. I mean, Lost Boys, License to Drive. I love that guy. And
License to Drive.
My idol. He was like, I want to be Corey Haim. He's cool. He's got this, you know, thing about him. And I think after watching like Lost Boys and License to Drive, he was in a really low budget movie called Prayer of the Roller Boys, which is this futuristic movie about these kids on rollerblades that just, they're trying to go for, it's like a white supremacy movie. It's terrible. It's about these kids that want a white universe, but they're all on rollerblades, and it's a terrible movie. And Corey Haim was trying to stop them. And but he had this tattoo on his arm. It was a little bat, and it was like a Celtic bat. And I'm sure if anyone's Googling this, they'll be able to see it. But I was fascinated with it, and I was like, I need to get that. Like, and so this is, you know, before camera phones and everything like that. So I'm taking a photograph of the TV screen with like a film camera. I get the picture developed, and then I run down the tattoo studio, and I look 15 at this point. And I go into the worst shop ever, and I get this tattoo, and I run straight home. And my mother is the first person that I show. You know, most people try and hide that shit for ages, but I ran home and I was like, Mum, look what I did. And she was like, it was inevitable that you were going to do that. Just don't do it. To me, that was a green light. And I was like, fuck, you know, I got another one, and then another one, and then another one. And then it just getting them because I liked them. I just liked having them on me. I'll be honest, I thought it made me look cooler when I was at that age. And then I stopped for quite a long period of time because, you know, I run out of ideas that I wanted, and things it just didn't happen for me for a while. And then I came back to it, and then just started getting more and more. And then, you know, I don't know if you know, but I'm a photographer as well. Yeah. And, my main job as a photographer was in the music scene. And of course, everybody's covered in tattoos. And
Sure.
Became fairly successful in it. And to me, it was another green light. It was just like, well, I just can start getting them now. And I never really thought about what the future is going to hold in terms of jobs. I mean, I knew that photography would probably have a shelf life in terms of like what I could do with it. But for me, just being tattooed, it was my body, my life. I didn't care about if, you know, I couldn't get a job or I couldn't do this. It was just, I just thought, fuck it. It's just my life, and I want to do it. And I never really had a plan or a method. I just started piling on, and that was it. And then
go ahead. Recently, you did your ass, and you made a video about getting your ass tattooed, and you're talking about the pain that you have. Is that really, considering all the places you have tattooed, is that like one of the harder places to get tattooed? Is it
the arse tattoo is horrible because it's like, I don't know, you know, imagine like your arse. I mean, if you stick a pin in it, you're literally going to tense up. Like that's literally what happens. You get a pin stuck in your arse, and it's just horrible. There's no middle ground with it. A lot of tattoos you can find a middle ground and find some sort of place in your brain where you can just take yourself away from it. But with that, for me, I mean, I don't know what it's like for everyone, but everyone I know who's heavily tattooed said that the arse is by far one of the worst spots.
Is it because there's like no bone to stop it, or just like all cushion? Like what?
I think, yeah, it's just tender, and it's just, I mean, the whole process is just embarrassing as hell because you're sitting in the shop with your arse cheeks puckered up in front of like heavy set dudes or whatever. So, it's not exactly the most relaxing situation anyway, but yeah, it's horrible. And I'm glad I've done it now because then now it's done. So if that's the most painful, what's the second most painful? I mean, that was painful but bearable. I'd say that was just horrible. But the out and out pain, as in terms of like really breaks me down, is by far the ribs. The ribs, anywhere around the lower midsection, is just oh, it's diabolical for me. Really, really bad.
I would have figured the head. The head, not so much, huh?
No, it was easy with the head. A lot of people ask that. I mean, all my head was done in separate occasions, so I didn't do it all in one part because I didn't know what I wanted. I just wanted to piece it all together. But yeah, I mean, the head, it's horrible, but I find it almost therapeutic. It's like you're right in the mix. When you're getting tattooed on the lower part of your body or your ribs or somewhere, it's kind of like you're away from it, and someone's doing it to you.
You just kind of
essentially being tortured, like. But with the head, it's like you're right in the middle of that. You're right involved, and I just think because there's so much going on around your head, you don't really think about the pain. You just sort of involved in it, which is, I guess, a weird way to look at it. But
do you have a favorite tattoo?
I really like the ones on my face. I like the ones. I don't know if
that's
good. But I have like a rose on the side. That is probably one of my favorites. I have a dagger on that side, which I really like. It was done by a buddy of mine. And I love the ones by my eyes. I have a little cross there and a teardrop there. And they're probably some of my favorite ones, I guess, because they're always they're always on what I'm looking at. If I look at them,
if you're looking at yourself, you're looking at those, sure.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I love the overall impact now. For me now, it's about that overall end game, because I'm so close to the end game now. It's like I've got a little bit of background to fill in, a couple of little small banger spots that I've got, and then I'm done. And then I'm, fucking collecting stamps or something like.
So you have a finish line. You know exactly when you'll stop.
It's not that I'll stop. It was just that I guess the tattoos will stop for me. Like, I mean, I don't think you can ever be finished.
Yeah, that's
certain ones that go over other ones, and in that, a long time ago, it became more about getting tattoos from certain people that I respected or that were just buddies of mine. More like I want him to do something on me because I love that guy, or because I've got a lot of friends in the industry now, so it's more about meeting him. Oh man, he was such a cool guy. I guess it's like, you're shaking hands with someone, but you're taking something away from it. So that's more about what it is. And the stories behind each individual tattoo. I mean, because I've got so many smaller ones that if you added them all up, we're in the hundreds. So one of them has got some kind of story behind it, or not necessarily a really interesting story, but I might have got that in Austria. I might have got that in Miami. I might have got that in Japan. Everything on me reminds me of a time when I did it for a reason.
Sure. It's like a photo album just there on your body. Sure.
Pretty much. It's just easier to just have it all on me than I'd have to carry shit around.
Sure. So you said something about getting jobs before. Here in the States, if somebody like you looked like that, people would walk across the street and automatically assume that you're some sort of Nazi, or there's so much with image. Is there anything like that in the UK? Is there anything like that where you are?
I mean, tattoos are always going to be a taboo subject for a lot of people. I think today, with the day and age that we live in, they're way more accepted than frowned upon. I mean, I part-time work in a shop in London, helping to run the shop and do all stuff like that. And the amount of people that we get in there that are not heavily tattooed. I mean, this particular shop is very much your average Joe sort of person walks in off the street. And they're like, they come out with things like, they walk in now and be like, I want a sleeve, or I want a neck tattooed. 10 years ago, they'd have been like, I want this, like on my arse where no one can see it.
Can I have barbed wire on my arm, please?
I think I had that one somewhere. But I mean, today you will always have them people that judge people by what they look like, as opposed to. But that can be said for anything. That could be said for gender. That could be said for race. It could be said for anything. So I think them kind of people, they're grouping themselves into the lesser right now, because in my opinion, I mean, I get more people come up to me about tattoos than anything else, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that I get stopped probably 2 or 3 times a day.
Wow.
Daily. Like,
Wow.
I mean, did that hurt on your head? How much have you spent? Where's the most painful place? Why is that like that? Why is this like this? People just want to know. They just want to get under the skin. And I guess that also on the flip side to that, it depends on you as a person. Because I mean, although I'm completely covered, I do consider myself approachable. Do you know what I mean? I don't like walk with an attitude, or I don't, I consider myself a nice guy to just have a chat with.
Sure.
So I guess,
Sure.
but there is some guys that have less tattoos than me that I'm like, fuck that guy. I wouldn't go near him with a fucking cattle prod. Because he's just putting himself across that way.
Sure. Sure.
But I mean, also it could be said for quality of work. You can see, people with gnarly tattoos everywhere, and it's like, fuck that guy, But it's just, I mean, I try not to judge anybody. If someone's got good tattoos, bad tattoos, no tattoos, lots of tattoos, people are people, and they'll always put their personality before what they look like in terms of like how you can approach them. But I do think that some people still have this negative opinion of it. But I think on the whole, in answer to the question, I think that more people accept it now than they frown upon it, just due to the hype, man. TV shows, movies, celebrities with tattoos. I mean, celebrities on TV, as much as we hate these sort of like, Miami Ink programs. And I mean, I actually work for the company that part-time, I work with that company that started that shop. So,
Oh, wow.
they have a shop based in London. But, I mean, as much as you would say that these shows are cringeworthy, they did more for tattoos than any media outlet that I will know. And they made it as popular as it is today.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well said. There's nothing else I can say. Very well said. Thank you. So, your look is intriguing. We got past that, but let's call a spade a spade. We're here to talk about fun shit. Toys, movies. What I could see your collection behind you there. What first started you collecting?
I don't know where it started. I mean, I've always been into shit like that. I mean, I was a big toy collector when I was a kid, the same as most kids was. And I've always been into movies, I was like the cable guy when I grew up, I was that dude that was just quoting movies. He didn't have anything else to say. Like, I think, and I still stand by this today, and I think a lot of my personality came from just bits and bobs of movies because, I mean, growing up, I grew up on a kind of rough estate in East London, and I didn't really have many friends. I had a couple, but it was a horrible estate to grow up on. Everyone was kicking the shit out of each other and everything, and so movies and shit like that was my little world.
I need to ask you, I'm sorry, I need to ask you what estate means. Estate, I think, means something different.
Kind of like like a projects, I guess.
Okay.
Like a little
it's the exact opposite here. Estate is like a rich people.
Oh yeah. An estate would be like something amazing, like a big land. No,
sure.
An estate in London means just like a like a built-up area within the city where a lot of people are like housed or living or stuff like that. But my early years were there, and then I grew up a little bit more, and then I moved out to a nicer part of London. So, but anyway, I'm digressing. But yeah, so I got into movies, and I always liked them, and then I collected VHS, and then when DVDs came out, I didn't really collect them. I just bought the films that I liked. And I don't think, I mean, the collecting side of things probably started maybe 5-6 years ago.
Really?
In terms of just the way certain movies were packaged. I mean,
well, artwork. I mean, it goes back to the tattoos. Artwork has a lot to do, especially with Steelbooks. So maybe
very much with Steelbook.
Let's tie a note on that, and we'll get back to that. Yeah,
artwork is just probably the main contributing factor to people collecting. I would say, because I mean, and buying multiple purchases of the same movie for different artwork, and I mean, everything is tying together now toys,
Oh yeah.
movies, you know, comic books. Everything's kind of stepping over, and I think we're living in a very retro-y sort of era in the fact that a lot of stuff from the old is coming back into the new.
Yeah.
80s movies are, for me, 80s movies are where it's at. You know, I love 80s horror as my biggest thing, but that is making a massive impact today.
Right.
You know, in terms of box set releases, steelbook releases, artworks, conventions, all the new generation is being introduced to this now. And, you know, there's all these different packages coming out. I mean, I almost want to grab something and just bring it over and be like,
my guest.
just grabbing something like that. I mean, Day of the Dead, probably one of the best George A. Romero films next to Dawn of the Dead. But the artwork on that is
gorgeous.
Just phenomenal. I mean, I probably own 7 or 8 copies of Day of the Dead, but it's not necessarily. I mean, I've probably watched one of them. It's not. It's the same movie. It's just. So that's where the collecting comes, I guess. And toys I've always been a big fan of, and I've gone in and out of toy collecting. I used to have a YouTube channel. It was the same channel. I started this channel off maybe 2010. It was the sole purpose of showcasing some of my Marvel collectible figures. I had 0 friends into this. In fact, if I even told any of my friends at the time, they would have probably, you know, just shunned me, go away sort of thing. But so I did this YouTube channel in the dark. No one knew about it. I never told anybody. I started it with the name WebX, or X Webhead X. And it was just me just showing action figures off and stuff like that, because I had no one else to share it with.
Sure.
And you know, eventually as collecting came along, I upstaged to like hot toy figures and, you know, more collectible stuff. And in the end, I kind of moved away from a lot of action figures because it can get very space and time consuming. And I was just like, I love these things, but, you know, I've got no room in my house right now. So, you know, when they went, I could have moved in a family of 10 people, because that's how much
that's why the Funko Pops are incredible, because they're literally stackable. You could just kind of line them up and stack them.
Very
boxes are perfect.
Store and keep. And I mean, even with the Funko Pops, I started off little, and then the collecting instinct in me took over, and then I went hot and heavy with it. And I still collect Funkos, but I sold off a massive portion of that collection.
Oh, wow, really?
Probably about 150, 200 of them. Just sold them all to a guy that deals in them, and he has a few shops and whatever. And I still have about 150. I just literally, I took it back to my roots, and I just decided to focus on the things that were a huge passion to me, which is horror and Star Wars. And all my Star Wars pops are on the right there, and all my horror stuff is on the left. And that's kind of where I'm going to keep it now, as in terms of pops, because I think they've just got so many licenses now that I don't know anyone that's a heavy pop collector that isn't coming out of it a little bit now. There's another YouTube on here, a YouTuber that I'm friends with, the Grumpy Nerd. I don't know if you know him.
Sounds familiar, sure.
He's a good buddy of mine, and he's got a massive pop collection as well. And we discussed this quite a bit, and he said the same thing, that, you know, it's just there's so many licenses, they're just flooding the market, and then it becomes not fun anymore. The same with steelbooks. Companies like Zavvi, they're just pumping out a steelbook for anything.
Oh, I just recently discovered Zavvi, and boy, that's dangerous for somebody like me.
It is a dangerous site. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Zavvi. I think every now and again they do an amazing product, but they've literally sort of found their little corner of the market in the UK as in terms of steelbooks and what they can do. And they're just pumping them out, and a lot of them are very hit and miss, you know?
Oh, sure.
You know, standard artwork, single discs, no special features. That wasn't what a steelbook originally was for me, you know? I think the first steelbook I ever bought was, if I grab it from somewhere, was this. This was the very first steelbook I ever bought.
Oh, okay.
Captain America. And I mean, it's still one of the most sought after steelbooks ever. It's could go from anything from 100 to 150 UK pounds for something like that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But 2 discs, beautiful artwork. It's a great steelbook. For me, things like that, you know, they should set the standard, not to go downhill, but to go up.
Well, yeah, and that it goes back to what we were talking about before. That the artwork on that is just so, it's just gorgeous. It's just the shield, but it's got that look. It's minimalist. There's not that much that you need there, but if it's done right, you don't need that much, and that really is done. That, like the Ex Machina steelbook Xavi had
Beautiful.
A couple months back, gorgeous. Not much, just just the body.
That's what I mean by Xavi. They every now and again they'll do something really nice, but
yeah,
a lot. I think a hardcore steelbook collector needs to really hone in now on what they want, because shit can get unrealistic, and you know, you'll end up with a lot of stuff. I mean, again, same with like the pops. I tend to focus now on, you know, horror steelbooks. I'll always pick up a version of a horror steelbook. And if there's a version of a film that I want, I'll always grab the steelbook, because I prefer them. Unless it's got an amazing slipcase, which ain't often that a slip, especially in the UK, will, you know, upscale a steelbook. But I don't grab every single title now on steelbook like I used to. You know, I'll focus in on companies like Nova Media. What other ones do I collect? You know, Blue Fans. They'll do some awesome Marvel stuff, and I'll buy some of that. But I don't go crazy like I used to, because I just ended up with so much stuff that it was like unreal.
So the toys, you talked about steelbooks and you talked about pops. I have to admit, I knew nothing about the Garbage Pail Kid toys until you had your unboxings. Those things are goddamn incredible.
Yeah,
are there? What's that?
They're awesome. I love them things.
So, well, a personal question. Let me know the story behind when you first started buying the blind bags and you kept getting the same character. How many did you?
I mean, them things are blind bags. The Garbage Pail Kids Mystery Minis. But when they were first released, which wasn't too long ago, you could buy them as a set of 12. I mean, because they are mystery mini figures, but they're a lot larger. They're probably closer to a pop size. They're pretty big. You got one now, so yeah, they're quite a lot bigger than mystery minis are. And I mean, they retail in the UK for like $8.99. So that's quite a lot of money to be hit and missing bags all the time, you know? Yeah,
that's basically the price of a Funko Pop here.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same difference, give or take.
Yeah.
So I bought them from an eBay seller that had a toy website that a lot of places were guaranteeing full sets, because they come as a 12 set. So, and everybody I know was getting full sets. And so I thought, this guy's got a reasonable price. You know, I messaged him and said, you know, can you guarantee that this is a full set and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yes, we can confirm we've sold quite a few of these and we've never had any complaints. And I was like, cool. So I get a box set, you know, I'm fucking drooling because, like, you know, I'm crazy about these things.
Yeah, yeah.
And I fucking open it and I'm doing an unboxing video for it. And I mean, you know, it's like when you're mid-filming and something fucks up, you just crazy.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. My heater just went on, so it kind of the filmer in me is just like, I don't. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I'm unboxing this unboxing, and I'm like getting super excited, and I'm like, oh, this guy's cool. You know, he's wicked. This guy's cool, and he's wicked. And then I open it, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what? And obviously, the first double you get is ruined the set, because there's only 12 boxes. So if you get a double, you haven't got a full set. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, you know, and for the rest of the unboxing, I was like, oh, I'm pissed off and blah, blah, blah. Then they get another double, and then a triple. And then and I was like,
It's the alligator one, right? Or the croc, or what? I don't know his name.
One of the croc. I got 3 devils, hot
Oh,
Scott.
yeah, the devil. That's it too. Yeah.
Gashly Ashleys, and I was like, okay, so yeah. And you know, I'm in the video, and I wish I'd saved the footage and put it up because I'm literally like smashing the boxes, and I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm screaming at this toy, and I put a little bit of the footage in the new unboxing that I did, but yeah, basically I messaged the guy and I said, what is happening? And he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, please send back the doubles that you got and we'll send out the ones you're missing. And I was like, how about you send me the ones that I'm missing first and then I'll send you the doubles back.
Yeah.
Of course he sent me the originals and I never sent him shit. I was like, you ruined my video. And then I just, you know, the master of editing, you know, the power of editing prevailed, and it was just I managed to kind of do a separate video and splice them all together and make it look like a complete unboxing. Yeah, but that was a bit of a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie, because like, garbage pail kids,
I'll say that much. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, thanks.
Or at least through talking about it.
Unboxings. I mean, you know, like I'll do haul videos and stuff, but I mean, with a Funko Pop, I mean, what can you review? It's just a little plastic figure that does nothing. It's just more like showing it, and that's it. You can't really. Well, look at the articulation. There isn't any.
The arms go up and down, and
I've got this like 4 foot tall Darth Vader on my desk that all he does is this. It's like, how can you even hold a lightsaber when you've got no elbows?
Oh, I'm gonna go off topic here. You talk about editing. Something that I notice, I'm sure anybody notices. You have this little box of little clips that you have every time. Actually, I just did a Blu-ray video, and I had a slight homage to you, and I even show your face, so it's not like I'm ripping you off.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah, you have that sound effect that you always use. The head exploding. That's reanimate. No, not reanimate. That's
scanners.
Scanners, yes. Is there like a file that you have, or a folder that you have that you just?
I do. I have a folder now full of clips and sound effects and irregular things that I use, and I guess it stems from the way I like to perceive things. I'm very visually orientated.
No, it's snappy too.
Sorry?
It's snappy too. It's.
I like it to be punchy and fast paced, and I like to. If someone's explaining something, I love when they do a video over the top of it, or so I can see what they're talking about.
Right.
I mean, to me, visual media is the best. You know, I mean, I do read, but I just don't get the time. So, you know, same with like, I'm a more comic book reader than I am a book reader.
Right.
But yeah, so I just like to chuck things in there, and sometimes a video can come together in the editing. I mean, I'll shoot it, and I'll think before if there's something like, especially with a movie review, because I mean, you know, I don't have any delusions about, you know, the success of my channel. I mean, there's a million amazing YouTubers out there that do amazing video reviews. For me, it's more about getting my point across, what I liked about it, but also kind of like poking fun at it or making something funny about it.
Sure.
So I try and keep it short and snappy and drop in a few bits and bobs, and somehow it comes together in the editing. But I have this thing, every time I shoot a video, I'm like, that was shit. I just fucked that up. Like, you know, it doesn't come together until I see it in editing form. The editing is the best part about making YouTube videos for me, because it's more like creating something for me. Like making something, or, you know, same with photography. I used to hate doing the shoots, but I used to love editing the photos. It's the same with video.
Photography, I wouldn't think photography would be like that, but that's interesting to hear that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, again, because I never know. I guess it's more like a lack of faith in myself, I guess. I never know how something's going to be until I see the finished product. I guess that's what it is, really. Yeah,
I think, I mean, we all have that. I mean, I can't tell how many times I'll shoot something and I'm just like, I don't want to put that in. I don't want to put that in. And I'm like,
they're normally the things that make the video. Them things
right. You just don't let it out there and close your eyes. No, don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Just look at it and just whatever.
And then when you see it, you're like, and that's normally the thing people comment on.
Right,
like,
right.
You dropped all your shit everywhere. It was the best part of the video. And I'm like, thanks for
that. I'll let you get. Oh, you got your drink, but. So recently, you bought a Steelbook for a movie that you admittedly don't like. The Terminator Steelbook. Is that one of many? Do you own movies that you don't like, won't watch, other than Terminator Genesis?
Oh, the Genesis one. That was it wasn't a Steelbook. It was a special edition. It was a lenticular slipcase.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, I did not like that movie. I watched it at the theaters and I gave it a terrible review. And I still stand by that review. I mean, I will watch that again just to see how I feel about it a second time. But I mean, yeah, it just wasn't good for me. But yeah, I looked and I knew I wasn't going to buy it. When I went out, I was like, okay, so I normally look up on my phone what's coming out on the day of release. And that's what I'll pick up. And I thought, I'm not getting Terminator Genesis. I don't need that in my car. I don't own Terminator 3. I don't own Terminator Salvation. To me, it's just the first two. I don't need the others.
Sure.
And, but then I looked at this lenticular slipcase and I was like, that is pretty badass. And I it's such a hypocritical thing to do because it's like, I hate the movie. I don't like it. I'll probably never watch it. But I'm buying the slipcase. And yeah, I still to this day don't know why I bought it. It's just, I don't often do things like that. If it's a movie that I downright do not like, I won't buy the movie, you know?
Are there others? Or something comparable? Is there something that like you're, you don't like it too much, but you have it just because of the case or just because of the Steelbook?
But perfect example, I did something quite recently, which was I picked up the Code Red release of the Nail Gun Massacre. Is it Nail Gun Killer? Can't remember what it's called now. Let me have a look. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, the Nail Gun Massacre. I picked up the Code Red release of this.
Okay.
And it's a B-rate horror, but it is a kind of like, I guess, a classic for a lot of people, but I just found it terrible to watch. And just the editing and the way it was put together I just didn't like it. And I was literally like this, please end, because I don't want to watch it anymore. And a Code Red release, they're pricey.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like $30 or something, that release. And I collect the Slasher Classics, which are from 88 Films, which is a UK company. And they were putting out the Nail Gun Massacre. And all of their spines are numbered.
Yeah.
I think at the moment it's like 1 to 11. And Nail Gun Massacre was coming out, and I was like, ugh. And I knew it. I knew the second I saw the preview pictures of it that I would buy it, because I'm a completist in terms of things like that, and I don't want to be like 6 spines and then a gap, and then so I bought it, and I was like
7, 8, 9, 11.
That'd be crazy. So yeah, I bought it, and I think that's happened with a couple of releases. Like, I'm trying to put together the entire Arrow back catalogue. There's a few releases that I just really don't care for, and just I think are terrible movies. But it's like, you kind of hate yourself for doing it, because you don't want a collection where you think, ugh, I don't want to look at that. You've got everyone's got their bottom shelf where there's just all this shit that they don't want to see. When you've got a collection like Arrow, that shit needs to be up high because you're proud of it. You don't want to, but then you've got releases within it. So I normally try and shadow the releases in between all the good ones. I don't have like a big section that's just loads of shit.
So your preference in film is horror, and from what I could tell, it's kind of like a schlocky type horror. What is it that you enjoy most in horror films?
I think I didn't really realize that I was such a massive horror fan until recently. Actually, it was like I was trying to. My collection isn't alphabetical or in any sort of order. So I was recently trying to organize stuff, and then I realized I was like, Jesus Christ, my entire collection almost is horror movies. I mean, all this stuff behind me here isn't horror from the top down.
Uh-huh.
I'll show you
Yeah, Bride of Chucky, Hellraiser shorts.
Well, I mean, that section there is
Yeah.
Yeah, all this stuff over here is horror. And then I was like, shit, I didn't even realize that everything I'm into is a horror movie. So I like really scary stuff. I like comedy horror. But I mean, the majority of the films that I'm a massive fan of fall just within the sort of 80s era. You know, Fright Night, you know, the original Halloween, I know that was the late 70s, but, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and then you've got the other ones like Reanimator, and then you've got Demons, and there's just so many that they all squeeze in between the 80s era. And I just think there's something about the way they were filmed, the practical effects.
Oh, yeah.
The acting,
acting. Wow.
Well, I mean, the acting is not... but just that's what makes it so good, that they just literally didn't give a shit. I mean, probably 90% of the early 80s slasher films were all porn stars. Right. Major films, and that's sort of the bottom of the barrel to go in at. You know, there's a lot of porn stars that were in 80s slasher movies, and you know what, I learned that from watching loads of special features and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just something about the 80s. The practical effects. Even when you see a film that's made in the 80s and they try and remake it or reboot it, just never capture that grit.
Yeah, yeah. Like they've just soundtracks lately. They've started doing this synth movement, like films like The Guest and It Follows, and it kind of is. You know, it's there, but it's not. I agree. I mean,
them films. I do like both of them films quite a lot, actually. The Guest in particular.
Oh yeah.
Soundtrack and the way it was done is obviously very reminiscent of the 80s, but with a more modern.
Yeah.
Feel.
It feels like a modernized
that film. It's almost hard to pinpoint what era it was actually filmed in.
Right. Like
if you looked at it and you didn't know it, you'd think, when did this film come out? Because even in terms of the styling and the fashion, you just think there's no way to actually nail a specific year.
Yeah, the TV, it's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like, what's happening? Why is that woman wearing a doily as a dress?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I watched a movie the other day, and it's a new Arrow release. I was filming a video about it earlier, actually. It's called Blood Rage. And it's a new release by Arrow, and it's a slasher movie that was filmed in the early 80s, but didn't make its way into release until the late 80s. And it's got a very high synth soundtrack, and it's almost like, imagine Jason Voorhees, but without being undead and without a hockey mask. It's just this kid, and replace Jason Voorhees with a college kid with a machete. That's basically what this movie is. I mean, as terrible as that sounds, I really enjoyed it, man.
What's the one where he says he has a twin? That's not the same one, is it?
It is the one, yeah. He's got a twin brother, yeah.
Yeah, and he acts like a fucking like a weirdo. I know what you're talking about.
It's basically twin brothers, and one of them commits a murder and blames it on the other one. And he goes to an insane.
Yeah. I've seen that. I have seen that.
I wanted to see it for years, but it's never had a release. And I was really stumped on trying to find the VHS, and then I picked it up, and I was like, I mean, it's all remastered, and there's like a few different cuts of the film.
Wow,
it's awesome. I mean, it's terrible, but awesome.
Doesn't he get behind a body and like play with the arms or something?
Yeah, he gets behind his body, and he's like, "Hey, look at me!"
So strange. I remember
we've got a scene where a woman gets completely like dismembered in half, and then the other brother comes along,
pulls it together,
the body, and tries to put it together. The proportions of the mannequin are so off.
Yeah. The legs are like up, and the
body's like that.
The torso is like a pancake.
Funny, really funny.
Now I have to go watch that again. What's the name of that?
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage. I gotta write that down. That's hysterical. That's so funny. I wouldn't have even thought twice about that movie, but I gotta watch it again. That's hysterical. So you import a lot. I've seen you import steelbooks, import movies, import toys. Is there a price that, like, what is the value of things that you need to import? Like, if you decide I'm going to do this by myself, I'm going to, you know, go to Japan, US, whatever. When you start importing, is there like a ceiling with the price, or is it, how is your value system?
I mean, being in the UK, you're always sort of like, your hands are tied in terms of what you can get. I mean, companies like Screen Factory, for example, as an average a company that sounds in the US. I mean, it's not an average, it's a good company, but it's not hard to access a Screen Factory title in the US. You just go on the Screen Factory website and order it, and then there you go. We can't get that here because they won't ship directly to the UK. The same as certain other companies, which is kind of messed up. So we have to go to places like Amazon and eBay, and we have to try and get it for a third party, which is not great. Right. And then in terms of steelbooks, I mean, all the best ones are sort of released via like Asia, you know, Korea, Taiwan, Japan. I'm very fortunate in the fact that I have a guy that I've dealt with for years, and he's a friend of mine, and he is a big steelbook dealer and collector. And he will group buy multiple titles of something, and we'll stockpile things from other countries, and I'll get them from him. I mean, obviously he puts a little bit on top for his cut, but that is covered. The customs import is covered within that. Also the shipping, and also a guarantee that I'm going to get a mint copy of the film. Because if you order from a company, you know, when it arrives, it might be damaged, and in which case you hardly are ever going to get any sort of replacement. With him, I get that. So I'm very fortunate in the steelbooks that I get a lot of it from him. But I mean, other titles, I'll source them from eBay, different buyers and sellers. I mean, toys and stuff like that. I'm very reluctant to buy out from online because I'm like an in-box collector. I don't keep them all out of the boxes, so I want to get a mint condition box. So, but I mean, in terms of like the ceiling and which price that I'll go to, I'd like to say that I did have a limit, but I mean, sometimes your brain just melts and you see something you want. And if it's really hard to find, I mean, my girlfriend crucifies me for this every time on any scale, because I'm not a good shopper around. If I see something and it's whatever price, I'll just buy it. And I say that without trying to sound like arrogant or like, I don't have a lot of money. Everyone seems to think I'm a millionaire or something, but I don't. It's just, I mean, I work 2 jobs, I work a lot of hours, and this is my thing. This is what I do, you know. I don't do anything else. Sure. Apart from, you know, like sports or whatever I might do, but this is my hobby. Collecting and movies are my thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I will try and go. I mean, the Hellraiser box set, for example, Arrow was supposed to send it to me to review, and you know, I'm in contact with them quite a lot.
That was a messed up story.
Oh, dude, fuck! I was like, "Are you insane? Like, why didn't you tell me? I would have just pre-ordered it, 40 bucks or 50 quid or whatever it was."
They could have, if they put it to the side, they could have been like, "Listen, people want this. Would you mind paying for it?" Like, you would think that would be.
I was like, "Oh, that would have been great," but yeah, I mean, I understand that because the guys at Arrow, they normally get copies of everything as well, and even the guys that work there didn't get any copies. So, I mean, I understand stress was a lot on that particular set because, I mean, I like the Hellraiser movies, but I mean, let's be honest, the first one is cool, but after that, they kind of, you know.
I was going to say the first 2, but I mean, it really gets bad.
The second one is cool as well, but I mean, even then, Hellraiser is not. I won't consider it even in the top 10 horror movies of all time. Like,
I absolutely agree.
Way down there on the line. So for a box set of a movie franchise like that to go so ballistically expensive, I mean, this thing sold out in minutes, and then it went to 200 plus quid on eBay, which is probably like $300 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to pay that for a movie that I like but don't
One
really
movie
love.
plus a bunch of coasters.
Yeah. I'm not going to pay that for that. But I was lucky, a buddy of mine, he got one for a friend of a friend, and I got it for a reasonable price. I mean, it was still more expensive than what it came out, but I mean, I could live with it. So that there was a perfect example of my ceiling, not to go beyond.
So if you want it, you won't let anything hold you back, but you know, within reason.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that I really, really want, then I've always been like that. I never really sort of let things get in my way. You know, I'm very determined in what I want. Like, I think if you want something, and this goes for anything in life, if you want something, you just got to go for it. And, you know, obviously money restricts.
Sure.
And
sure.
if I want something that I can't afford, and because I'm a human being, there is things that I can't afford, I'll sell something that I can afford to live without.
Right. Right.
You know, when you're collecting over the years, you accumulate a lot of collectible items that you don't even realize triple and double in value. I mean, you don't even realize it. I mean, I've got Steelbooks on my shelf that I don't give a shit about, but they've tripled in value over the years. Yeah. And it's like, really? For a film like that? There's some section of the world where people love that movie, and you know, so there's always something you can change, and there's always something you can do. And I got a couple of questions on my YouTube channel recently about the Star Wars Steelbooks and what did I think about them. And I thought that for a Steelbook collector, I think they're great. I think they're beautifully made, they're embossed, the artwork is fantastic. In terms of a hardcore Star Wars fan, which I consider I am, but the Steelbook factor of it was more important because I have the saga. I have all the special features. And one dude messaged me in particular and said, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should sell the saga box set to get the Steelbooks? And I was like, dude, I mean, don't do it, because the saga box set is just packed full of features.
Yeah.
The Steelbooks ain't. I mean, they're cool to look at, but I'd never replaced the saga for it. So on that term, you know, actual content goes a long way rather than, I mean, it's Star Wars. You can't just give one disc. I mean, to me, they dropped the ball with that fucking Steelbook. I mean, if they wanted to make money out of it, they could have made 2 sets.
Oh, yeah.
It's the goal, and it is the goal for every company releasing these things. Make 2 sets. Make 1 set of heroes, 1 set of villains.
Oh. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, I would have done, you would have done. We'd have all bought 12 Steelbooks.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean, and I still believe that possibly we might get a second batch of Steelbooks down the line. Because I noticed when companies do things like this, they'll purposely put someone like Yoda on the cover of a 6 Steelbook set, 5 villains, 1 hero.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably just speculating and daydreaming, but down the line, wouldn't it be crazy if we got 6 more with 5 heroes and 1 villain, just because you bought that Steelbook and you're like, shit, I need to complete the set now.
Yeah, it is odd. I mean, Obi-Wan is in all, he's in all 6, no, he's not, well, technically he's in all 6 movies, so.
Yeah.
Where's his cover? It is funny. We have a question from Dennis, the blue corner. He asks about your tattoos. Would you ever cover the remainder of your face?
No, definitely not.
Is there a reason?
I think, I mean, I know a lot of people with complete face coverage, and I've known them that way all their life, like since I've known them. But I think now, for me to cover my face, I think I'd lose a bit of my personality. I think I'd lose a bit of me. I mean, I'm very lucky in the fact that, you know, I'm heavily covered. But when people talk to me and look at me, they look at me, eye contact.
Right.
I know people that are less covered than me, that when they get spoken to, people are like this. You know, their eyes are everywhere. And I've never had that, like, which I'm very grateful for. Like, I don't know why. I guess that's just another thing about how people talk to you, how you carry yourself, how you come across.
Uh-huh.
So, like, you know, when I get spoken to, I want to be spoken to in the eye contact that I give. So when someone's trading all over the place like this, it could be very distracting, which I've seen with other people, and I just don't want that. I don't want to. Plus, I don't want tattoos all over my face. I've got little ones that I like to peek, and that's it. I don't want it anymore. My mum would kill me.
There it is. His mom would kill him.
My mum would kill me is the basic answer to that.
So that just about does it. Oh, no, wait. Let me ask you one final question, then I'll ask you about what you have coming up. Your most valuable toy, Blu-ray, you know, maybe not value in price, just what means the most to you as far as a Funko Pop, a Steelbook, a movie, a poster?
I've got a few things that kind of mean a lot to me. I mean, over my shoulder there, one of my favorite movies is Fright Night. I got the poster on the door, and then next to that is the album.
Oh, wow.
Which is the original soundtrack release, which is a huge thing for me. I love that movie, and I love that soundtrack. So when I found that was quite a big thing to find. Favorite toy? I got a couple, and they're sitting on my desk, so maybe I'll show them. I have a 1/6 scale figure of Snake Plissken.
Holy shit!
Which is probably one of my favorite things that I own, because I mean, anyone watching this that knows me will know that I'm a huge, like, Kurt Russell, John Carpenter fan. And my mum bought this for me, so, you know, it's extra special.
That's awesome.
You know, from my mum and that. And also this guy, which I fucking love. And it's a Soda Toys bust of the American Werewolf in London.
Wow.
Which is, it's tiny, and it was a really small release run of this. But I managed to find one in mint condition, and I got it for a good price. So that's a very special thing. And movies, I mean, oh man, it's really hard to say. I have so many movies that mean a lot to me. But I think one that I've always wanted was, I mean, it's not out. And I mean, I was very happy that Arrow released the Big Trouble in Little China Steelbook and release. I mean, that was a dream, because, you know, I would daydream and be like, what Steelbook would I love to see? And it was Big Trouble, and I got it, and I was overwhelmed. And but I'd love to see Scream Factory release Big Trouble in Little China, which would be a very prized possession for me.
Huh.
And also, I'd love to see a good release of Fright Night. Just because Twilight Times did it, but I mean, Twilight Times, I'm not a massive fan of the way they put stuff out and about how they restrict everything, and the way the secondary market just worships it and charges ridiculous money for it. I mean, Germany recently released an issue of Fright Night, but it's very basic. It's just a standard Amaray, nothing special. But to get a nice Steelbook, a slipcase, or a media book of Fright Night will be something that will be a treasured collection. So that's a little bit about stuff that I hold dear, and a little bit about future stuff that I would hold dear. So, is there anything on? Would you want anything like anything on the disc, or is it just about the actual? I mean, the packaging would be the main thing for me. I mean, like I said about Twilight Times, they released actually two versions of Fright Night. They released one that was like, I think it's somewhere. Where is it? I can't even find it. Here we go. So they released this version, which is the first version they did. And then which has got fuck all special features on it at all. And then they released the 30th anniversary release, which is like gold dust to find. And it's got the 30th year anniversary. It's got a reunion with the cast. It's got a load of other shit. And it's like, I probably paid $100 for that release, because, like, you know, and now I've got to find it again. It's like, come on, man, just that's just a massive finger in the face to someone who likes Fortnite. Yeah, well, yeah. They do that with how many Terminator? There's so many copies of Terminator. They just, dude. I mean, like, for me now, my pet hate is Marvel Steelbooks. Really? I mean, I have a bunch of my Marvel Steelbooks up there, and you know, I've got a lot of the original stuff, the UK stuff, Asian stuff, and it's just like Zavi. Again, they've just put out a massive set of new Marvel Steelbooks, and it's like, how many fucking Iron Man Steelbooks do we need? There must be 40 Iron Man Steelbooks in the world, and it all stems from the Future Shop release.
Yeah, yeah.
That went virally collectible pretty much straight away, and it still goes for a few $100 quid. And everyone tries to mimic that, and it's like, we've had 40 Iron Man Steelbooks and one Incredible Hulk Steelbook. It's like, come on. Like, I mean, I don't know why a lot of these companies just bombard the market with the same thing over and over again. And people are eating it up with a spoon.
Well, part of it is, I mean, especially, well, like that Captain America, it feels and looks like what you would imagine that shield would look like. They could do the same thing with Iron Man and make it look like Iron Man. So
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I probably own about 10 Iron Man Steelbooks, but I mean, so again, I'm sort of being hypocritical, but it's just like, all right, yeah, there's a lot already. Don't keep making them. Just hold fire and do something that we need, something that we want. I mean, I was begging for an American Psycho Steelbook for ages, and we finally got one.
Yeah, I'm waiting on mine. I have one. It's somewhere overseas. It's
Over the
traveling to me.
I haven't picked it up yet. But I mean, yeah, we got that, and it's like, finally we get something that we want, and I do really like it. I'm yet to give it an overall opinion because I haven't got it in hand, but just from first glance, there's a few things I like and a couple of things that I'm not too keen on. But
yeah, Dennis from the Blue Corner does a really good review of it. He gets down and dirty with it. You wouldn't,
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah,
I think I've seen that actually. I think I watched that the other day.
Yeah, it's beautiful. He actually is the person who's sending me the disc. And
yeah,
just waiting for it.
I think I did watch that review actually.
So we talked about your past. Let's talk about your immediate future. What do you have coming up?
In terms for the channel,
Sure.
Quite a lot of stuff I want to do with the channel, and it's snowballing now, which is a good thing. I mean, I'm like before when I kept my channel secret and didn't do anything because I was ashamed about it. Like I was like, oh my god, I'm a fucking toy nerd. No one's gonna talk to me. This time when I fired it up in January, and I just thought, this is what I want to do now. I just want to, you know, talk to people, get to know people that are in the same area, and actually make a lot of new friends and just talk about shit that I'm passionate about. So I wasn't, you know, a recluse about it. I put it out there. Twitter, Instagram, I bombarded everyone with it, and I think that was the key thing in it sort of taking off well from the start, because I didn't hide it, and so that's just a thing to move forward. Like I just want to keep pushing it. I got a lot of stuff that I want to do. I've started doing this video that I've started doing it a couple of months now, and it's the Monday Movie Mayhem thing, and which I love doing. But I've actually filmed an update yesterday morning that I'm going to put out sometime in the next couple of days. And the Monday Movie Mayhem thing is going to change format a little bit. I'm still going to do a Blu-ray collection video every week. I'm just not going to do it on a Monday. Or it might be on a Monday, but it also might be on a Wednesday or a Thursday. I mean, because let's be honest, it was called Monday Movie Mayhem, but this thing never came out on a fucking Monday.
Yeah, no, trust me. I tried here in the States. It's Tuesday, and I tried getting it and then editing, and you know, it's just
it's just too much to do on one day, because you know you get the stuff. I might have to go 2-3 places to get the things I want.
Right.
Film it, edit it. I mean, I can edit a video for 6 hours.
Sure.
Like, so, I mean, I made this video purely about the structure of that changing, and I wanted the point to come across properly that I wasn't stopping it. Because you say these things on a video, and then you'll get asked the question, "What's happening? You're not doing it anymore." And I'm like, no, I am doing it. I'm still doing it, but I just don't want it to be on assigned to a specific date. It might still come out on a Monday. It might come out on a Friday. More movie reviews in terms of like, I want to review films that aren't current. I want to review films that I love from the past.
Oh yeah.
Stuff that I think might not have gotten attention, or something I want to say something about. And also just vlogging. I really like just, there's also almost a certain amount of pressure in terms of getting a review across. Not so much of a whole video, because you're just talking about whatever, but but in terms of a review, I'm getting tongue-tied. A review, you know, you need to, I guess there's kind of a little bit of pressure in terms of like, you need to be informative about that film. You need to be opinionated. But if you have a specific style with your channel, you also need to keep it like funny or whatever. And things like vlogging, there's just no old bars. You just chat shit, and you sit back and you're like, yeah, whatever, you know, like I'm just so I want to kind of try and do a little bit more of that. And I don't know, next year I've got a lot of stuff planned. I'm going to be in the States a bunch next year.
Oh, really?
Which is cool. Yeah, I'm going out to, I just booked a convention to go to Texas Frightmare.
Okay.
It's
a little far from me. I would come see you, but that's far.
Where are you based? You're in New York?
I'm in New York.
Oh, cool. Yeah. New York, I'll be in New York. I go to New York quite often. I didn't go this year, but the year before that, I think I was over there like 4 or 5 times. So I do. I used to work on and off as a photographer in New York, so I've been there quite a bit, and I probably have just as many friends in New York as I do in London. So
yeah,
a little bit, and I want to go on some Blu-ray hunts. I want to go on some Blu-ray hunts around New York and Chicago, and
oh yeah, we should get a group together. You, me, Blu-ray Dan.
Yeah, I spoke to Dan about it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It would be real shit. Just for the video alone, it'd be fun. Just to have material.
Pretty much the main reason that I'm coming out to the States. It's like there's a few horror conventions that I want to hit up, but there's also a bunch of YouTubers that I've made friends with that I just want to go and, you know, do collabs with, and
yeah,
I don't know, just embrace the whole community thing, you know. It's really coming together now in terms of regular people commenting on the channel and people that I comment back with, and you know, I slacked on comments at the start because everything was all over the place, but now I'm going back and I'm answering comments from fucking months ago. So if someone sees a comment pop up from like a year ago, it's like, hey, look at me. I'm like, sorry, I suck. I am getting back to it. So, but it's such a good thing to comment and have this interaction with people, because that is the main reason I do the channel. Like, I love to just, it sucks. And I'm sure I speak for a lot of people when I say this, that it sucks to be so excited about something and have no one to share it with.
Yes.
It sucks. I mean, you know, I have a girlfriend and I have friends, but they're not, I mean, my girlfriend hates horror movies for a start, so I got no one to fucking talk to about that.
Right.
And my friends, you know, they'll watch a movie, but they're just watching the movie. They're not watching the movie. They're not like, you know, they don't want to talk about it. You know,
right.
And to be so passionate about something and have no one to talk to, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, look at this Blu-ray, it's so amazing. Fucking anyone about it. So you do the next best thing and you talk to a camera.
It literally is a community. I'm learning that quickly. That it literally, people say community. I was like, it's a fucking website. It's not a community. What are you talking about? It's a website. No, it's actually a community. Once you get into it and start talking to people, it's, you know, just like-minded people that, you know, it's literally all of us are thinking the same thing. I have nobody to watch this with. Who wants to talk to me about this? I want to talk. Somebody, please.
It's such an amazing thing to, I think I mean, for me, it's the best social media platform, because you get to visually and, you know, voice your opinion about something, and people can interact. They can make response videos, they can comment. And now, I mean, tying it all into things like Instagram and Twitter, everything's just sort of, they're the 3 main tools that I consider become a whole right now, is Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I interact with all the people that I'm subscribed to and are subscribed to me.
Mm-hmm.
We all have this community. I mean, it's great. And I mean, it's tons and great of what you can pick up and how you can access things around the world. I mean, recently there was a convention in the north of England, and a friend of mine was there, and he got some stuff signed by like actors, and he sent it to me, and you know, all other stuff like that, things that you can't get to but someone else can.
Yeah.
That's where it's at, you know.
Well, Dennis asked one more question, and then we'll wrap it up. Are you going to update to 4K within the next year?
On YouTube? Or
Dennis, quickly, on YouTube or
because I noticed, I'll answer both questions, because
okay.
I noticed some people are shooting videos in 4K for YouTube. I mean,
wow,
that's something I haven't really looked into. I recently watched some videos on that, but I think I will be upgrading to a 4K TV, because I'm due for a new TV to get one. So I will be upgrading to a 4K TV. In terms of 4K Blu-rays and Blu-ray players, I'm you know, it's going to happen for me eventually, but I don't think that's a recent thing, because, you know, a lot of people, it took them years to get into Blu-ray. You know, I know people that are still just collecting DVDs, and they're only just starting to get into Blu-ray. So it's like, when do you sort of put a time frame on it? I mean, a lot of the releases that are coming out now, they're coming out in 4K.
Right.
Spider-Man, Fury, so many others. There are loads of things. I just picked up a Goodfellas box set that was re-released and shot and done in 4K.
The 25th anniversary.
Yeah, it's such a nice set. And so, yeah, I mean, it will happen, but I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be a recent thing for me. I still think Blu-ray's got a lot more years left in it before it's considered obsolete, if it will be, you know. Right.
Blu-rays came out 2006, and it didn't really get big until maybe like 2010. So, I mean, even if 4K comes out next year, I still think it's got a while.
I know a lot of people are nervous about that. They're kind of worried that their collection is going to become obsolete. Or it's like, you know, I don't think it will ever be. I don't think that can ever happen in terms of media and what. I mean, because there's still collectible DVDs. I've seen DVDs go for $100 on eBay of certain horror titles in particular. So I don't think that anything's ever going to be obsolete. People still collect VHS.
Yeah, it's just regeneration. I mean, people have vinyl still. People have records that they, you know, it's just, you just kind of adapt. You keep the ones that you really want, and then you adapt for the new thing. And I'm just worried about digital. I like holding it. I like grabbing it. I like knowing that it's there. I don't want to, you know, have my shit in a cloud and just.
I agree exactly. I don't do any of that cloud shit. I can honestly say, apart from videos, music. I download all my music because I don't have CDs everywhere. Like movies. I probably downloaded about 2 or 3 movies my entire life, and that's only because I needed to review it or needed to watch it quickly, or just could not fucking find it.
Right.
It's just, I like having that, like we were talking about artwork.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know, if there wasn't any tangible things to hold, to look at, to appreciate, you know, I know this sounds fucking weird and like a little bit creepy, but the smell of a booklet.
No, it's not creepy at all. It's not creepy at all.
It's like, this is mine. This is my copy of that. You know, like that's what.
Which plastic smell? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And this is amplified by YouTube and being in part of a community.
Sure.
Like, you know, you're excited about something. Someone else gets excited about it. They want it. You kind of. It's not a dick measuring competition, but everyone's excited about their collections and they want to show what they've got. And it's like, check me out and look what I've got. And you know, people can appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, it's a good time to be a YouTuber, I think. You know, there's so many things happening on YouTube, a lot of, you know, great things being released. It's bringing communities together. I'm excited about the whole thing. I mean, it's probably, you know, the most thing I've been excited about for a long time. I hope my girlfriend can't hear me saying that. You're like, what do you mean?
You said the exact same thing to me last night. What are you talking about?
You did the same thing last night in bed. Sorry.
Do you what do you have going on right now? Is there anything that you're working on for the immediate?
I've been off all this week. From Monday to now. I normally have 4 days off every week to shoot and film and edit and do things. And today I had a plan that was completely pissed all over by the Captain America trailer. Because I had to kind of shunt everything along and do a review for that. So hence why I'm wearing a cap shirt and I have masks and shit everywhere. I mean that dropped, so that kind of put a little spanner in the works. But I was shooting something which a lot of people have been asking for, which is a complete Screen Factory collection overview. Ooh. So I've been doing that, which I shot the first part of last night, and I shot the rest this morning. That needs to be edited. I just edited a Blu-ray hunting video that I did on Friday night. That's fully edited, and I'll drop that at some point this week. I need to finish the back part of my Captain America review and edit that. And there is a couple of other things. What else was I doing? Oh, I managed to meet George A. Romero at a horror convention.
Oh, I happened to meet George A. Romero. Oh, yeah, by the way.
I was like, I mentioned something about going to a Comic-Con, but I didn't mention that I met him. But I met him, we chatted. He's cool. He signed a bunch of stuff, and I had my photo taken with him and everything. But
that's incredible.
I felt that deserved a video on its own, rather than just squeezing it into the back of a whole video somewhere. But so I'm in the middle of doing that, and couple of updates, bunch of stuff that I felt I needed to say just to bring people up to speed about what was happening.
Awesome.
A little bit of a thank you video and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, so there's I dropped a lot more videos in the past week than I normally do. Like there was just so much happening. It was just like, I need this, I need to review that, I need to talk about that. And it's funny because it's actually a quiet time for movies being released here. Like, we don't actually have anything out in the movie theater as of yet that I want to see. Spectre came out, and that was the last major film that I saw that I felt I needed to review. We're only just getting Black Mass, which should be out tomorrow. Fucking, it's like, who cares about me doing a review about Black Mass now? It came out like 2 months ago.
It's going to be on Blu-ray in about a week here.
Exactly. Let's just wait for the Blu-ray. So many films that just... I mean, Southpaw just came out on Blu-ray here, and I really wanted to check that out. I missed it at the movies, so I might do a review for that.
When do you get Creed?
Huh?
When are you getting Creed?
January.
Oh,
I know.
I was going to say just watch Creed, but all right, watch Southpaw and then watch Creed in January.
It's fucking terrible that we get. I don't know why that in particular between the States and the UK, we should just get things together.
Right, yeah.
I mean, this will make it so much better in terms of everyone appreciating the film. It will cut down the amount of streaming and illegal downloads and shit.
Yeah, you would think. It doesn't make any sense.
In terms of a YouTuber's point of view, I mean, if this movie comes out today, everybody in the States and the UK has an equal amount of opportunity to review it and get it out in time. Therefore, they might accumulate more views. I mean, who gives a shit about a smaller YouTuber that's reviewing a film that when there's people like, you know, Chris Duckman and Jeremy Jans, and they're all reviewing that film 2 months before it's come out in the UK.
Right.
Like, no one's gonna watch my review. Like, so it's like
it's not only that. It's also, you know, the customer. The internet is worldwide. Like, you don't have to worry about advertising per. Like, if you have the internet, it's all the same time. So if it comes out in the U.S. and somebody in where you are in London, you know, wants it but has to wait, maybe you forget about it. Whereas if you wanted to watch it when it came out, you could have paid then, but maybe, you know, the time you have to wait, you go and forget or something. That's a lost sale as far as I'm concerned, or a potentially lost sale.
Yeah, so I just don't know why they do that. I mean, sometimes I get excited when we get like a release, like anything Marvel, we get here before you go. I don't know why, but and then massive waiting periods for certain films like Creed, and you know, Black Mass and things like that. And it's like, if it's not a particularly popular movie, then it just makes me not want to review it, because it's like, no one's going to care. No one's going to want to watch it. You know, I'm just going to be unenthusiastic about it. So
Right.
But then sometimes I think, fuck it, I'm still going to talk about it because I've got something to say about it.
Sure. I mean, that once you have a fan base, they want to hear your words. They want to know what you have to say.
Mm.
And I think I speak for your fan base. I'm pretty sure that they want to, regardless of when you get it, they want to know what you think.
Hopefully. I do get some people say that they're glad I did a review, or they want me to review something, even if it's an old film or something. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for the guys that say that stuff. So, because it makes me feel better about making a video about something.
Mm. So lastly, in all of my interviews, I always ask the guests, my channel, the quota of my channel is will I like it? So if you were to talk to somebody and they asked you, will I like your channel? Who would you say you would like my channel to? What type of person? You would like my channel if?
If I was talking to somebody?
Yeah, who would you recommend your channel to?
I'd recommend my channel to anyone that don't take stuff too seriously, because I definitely don't. And if I was to retitle my channel, I'd probably retitle it wingingit.com, because I definitely wing pretty much everything that I do. So will you like my channel if you like people winging it? There you go.
There it is. You heard it here. Well, for everybody watching, in the future, SpiderGeek, thank you so much for being here. Any last words? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's it, guys. You'll see his link in the description down below. I'm CP for SpiderGeek. Have a day.
Later.